this is the Loan Payment Calculator program, a simple program in Java to demonstrate some conditionals and arithmetic functions. So we're doing a car loan in this particular code here. This is Java using IntelliJ IDE. So first step is to create the class and then set up the main method with 4 variables to set up the data here for doing the loan calculations. The first one is the loan amount, just leaving all these as integer variables. Next one is the length of the loan, just that number will represent years. The interest rate, this represents a percentage, and the down payment amount, also a dollar amount. So we put in some sample values to test this. And so the next step is to make a conditional to handle situations or to ensure that the length of the loan is greater than 0 and that the interest rate is also a value selected greater than or equal to 0. And so we are making a greater than 0. So we're making an if statement for the situation where if it's less than or equal to 0, there is an error message saying that the car loan needs to be valid. And so that's kind of our first check. And then we'll follow that up with an else if statement that says if the down payment is greater than or equal to the value of the car loan amount, that this represents a payment in full. And so we'll show a message saying the car can be paid in full based on that down payment amount. And then the else following up from this if and else if statement will handle the typical situations that we're shooting for, which is loan length greater than 0, interest rate greater than 0, and a down payment that is some amount less than the total amount of the loan. So that first calculation we want to do is to show what balance will remain after accounting for the down payment. So we're going to do the remaining balance as a new integer variable equaling the amount of the loan. This is the original amount, which we have as 10,000 in our example so far here, and then less the down payment amount of 2,000. So that'll leave us with 8,000. But we're not going to print anything out here for now. We're just going to let the program account for all this information. And then the next thing we want to do is calculate the number of months that remain in the loan. So because the loan length variable represents years, we're just going to multiply that number by 12 for 12 months in a year to get a new integer of months. And then the next thing we want to do is use that months amount of months that we just calculated to calculate a monthly balance for the loan. So because we also, in the 2 steps previous, created the remaining balance integer variable, we're going to take that remaining balance and then divide it by months to get the remaining balance for each month, for 1 month. And then the next step is to apply the interest rate to that monthly loan balance. So that interest rate will represent a monthly interest rate rather than an annual interest rate, since we're applying it directly to the monthly balance that we just calculated. And since that rate is a percentage and we want a dollar value for the interest amount, which is our new variable here, we're going to multiply or divide that by 100 to get the dollar value. Okay, and then the next number we want to calculate is to take that monthly balance, which we determined 2 steps previous, and then add the amount of interest for 1 month to the monthly balance amount. So that will give us the monthly payment amount, which is kind of our ultimate goal here. We want to know this loan payment calculator is the name of the program, so we want to know how much our monthly payment's going to be. And after all those arithmetic steps, this will give us that number. So since that's our final goal, we're going to go ahead and print the monthly payment out. And let's run it and see what we get based on, again, we just populated numbers in here, so we're going to run it and see what happens. And here we get a monthly payment amount of $233. That's our damage for the month. And so we can test and make sure this is truly working by maybe tweaking these numbers a little bit. Let's maybe make this car loan initial amount higher, and this should make the monthly balance increase. So it's going to go from $233 to $379. That's what we would expect. It went up. Okay, and then we can try and adjust the next variable here, the loan length. So instead of 3 years, maybe we'll stretch it out over 5 years. And that should lower our monthly payment. And let's see, we go from 379 down to 226. So we did lower our monthly payment by taking a longer loan length. Now, what if we get a better interest rate on this loan? See how much that might be worth to us, and if that works in our program here by adjusting that. So with a lower interest rate, we should have still further lower monthly payment amount. So we go from 226 down to 222. So we did save $4 there a month by lowering the rate. And what if we pay a little bit more upfront here? So let's increase this down payment from $2,000 to $5,000, and then our monthly payment should go down even more. And now it's down at $170 by paying more up front. So it looks like all of everything is working as we expect. That's the loan payment calculator program. Thank you.